And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the DoDcast Postgame Show. I'm your host, co-editor Ricky Keeler, as the Nationals wrapping up a 4-3 win tonight over the New York Mets in 11 innings in the first game at Citi Field. And it's almost a crazy game. First off, you think about this budding rivalry that these two teams have, and the lineups that they threw out there were not the ones that everybody's used to seeing. If the Nationals, they don't play Jason Worth, they don't play Trey Turner, they don't play Ryan Zimmerman. Worth's out till Sunday. Turner just got off the DL today, but he got a chance to pitch it. We'll get into that in a second. Mets without Cespedes, without Cabrera, without d'Arnaud, without Duda. They're using pitchers to pinch run and pinch hit in some cases. So this is not the ideal situation for either of these teams. But give the Nats a lot of credit. They found a way to get this win. This is a huge win for them. They now won 5 in a row. I think they're starting to get more confidence in the process, especially with their bullpen, which I think was a huge part in why they won this game today. The offense did not do much until that last inning. They had no hits from the 5th inning up until the 11th. So that was a little bit of an issue. Coming into that 11th inning, they had only 1 runners in scoring position opportunity in this ball game. But let's get into it. And first, we'll start with the line scores. Nationals, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. That error made by Jose Lobaton on a fielding throw in the 4th inning. But Lobaton made up for that 1 inning later. The Mets, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Eddie Romero gets the win. And there were a lot of loud outs. Jay Bruce hit one to lead off that inning that went right to the track. You thought when Bruce hit that ball was gone. Luckily for the Nats, it wasn't. It's really cold in New York. I'm from New York, and I'm going to throw a full disclaimer out there. I watched this game on the WPIX 11 feed, so I'm hearing it from the Mets angle. If you heard something on the Nats angle you want to talk about, or listen to MLB Network with Bob Costas, John Smoltz, and Ken Rosenthal, feel free to share it with me in the chat room here on the YouTube page, or you can send us a comment on Twitter at District on Deck or at Rickinator555. So let's start from the beginning. Of course, it's been a while. It's almost 4 hours. Bryce Harper led off this game, a 2-run shot in the first inning against Matt Harvey. Coming into the day, Harper was 1 for 26 against Harvey. And I know that Ron Drawing and them talked about it, how they wanted to throw the ball up and away to Harvey. And the Nationals were able to take advantage of that. Harvey missed the location a couple times. Harper crushed it to right center. It looked like the Nats would have an easy day, up 2-0. But Tanner Roark gives up a first pitch home run to Michael Conforto. And yes, I tweeted at Rising Apple, I think Conforto should play. Again, I'm from New York, so I think I'm allowed to put that. Conforto is really good for this ball club, at least on the Mets side. So he homers, makes it 2-1. Mets end up tying it in the 4th inning. Daniel Murphy, something just isn't right with him. Jay Bruce is on base at 1 out, and you have a ball hit by Walker that Murphy's trying to get the catch on the line drive, which would have doubled up Bruce, who was running on the play. Did not happen. You got man on second, leads to Curtis Granderson RBI single. Granderson had a big night at the plate for the Mets. He tied the ball game up, but Roark got out of it with a Jose Reyes line out. And Reyes, as you could tell watching this game, fans getting sick of Reyes. He's not hitting the ball right now. They got their top prospect, Ahmed Rosario, playing third base, according to Ken Rosenthal in AAA. The leash might not be that long for Reyes. Let's put it that way. So it was 2-2 going to the 5th, and of all people, Jose Lobaton with the kaboom, his first home run of the year, his first hit of the year, gets the Nats up 3-2, hits the ball to right center. Roark had a nice pace in this game, and then he gets to the 6th inning, gets ahead behind 2-0 to Granderson, leaves the fastball right over the middle of the plate, and Granderson knows exactly what to do with it, hits the ball over the upper deck in right field to tie that ball game up. It just wasn't the same for Roark. I thought his start of the game was good. He had a nice flow to the game, not a lot of pitches on his pitch count. Then he gets to the 7th. He gives up a double to Zach Wheeler pinch hitting. Intentionally walks Conforto. Then walks Lagares, which was a little bit surprised. Roark had good command the whole night and just didn't have it at the end. His line, 6 2/3, 3 runs, 7 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. I can make the case Roark has been the worst of the 4 starters. That's not a bad thing because the Nationals have been so good in the rotation. But you can make the case that Roark has not. He's been up and down. He's had one good, one bad, one good, one bad. I would call tonight good to mediocre. I don't think he was bad, but I think he could have ended better. So you got bases loaded, 2 outs. Not a good situation at all if you're a Nats fan. Oliver Perez is in the ballgame, who just got Freddie Freeman out last night. Gets Jay Bruce to line out to right. Bruce has terrible numbers against Perez, so Dusty played the matchup perfectly. Perez gets the big out. He comes in for the 8th inning, gets 2 strikeouts in the 8th inning of Walker and Granderson. So Oliver Perez might be finding his confidence too, and that's a good sign for this team. Joe Blanton, he got in a rough patch in the 9th inning. You started to think that Blanton wasn't going to get out of it. He was not locating his pitches very well, had a couple of walks. Asdrubal Cabrera came in to pinch hit, and he's battling a hamstring issue, and he drew a walk. But he gets Conforto to ground out on the first pitch, and then gets Lagares to fly out to left. And that for Joe Blanton, I don't think – look, Nats fans have rightfully got on these guys. They have not pitched well. I've written about some of them not pitching well, Blanton included. But Blanton found a way to get out of it when he needed to. Romero had a lot of outs in that 10th inning, but he gets the outs. More important, he won the battle with Granderson. That at-bat was 11 pitches. I like the way that he was able to get out of that situation. Then you get to the 11th against Josh Smoker and Bryce Harper with an excellent at-bat to start that inning off. Well, not start the inning off. Diffo grounded out, but Harper works a 7-pitch at-bat, takes a fastball from Smoker into left field, gets by Conforto for a double. The Mets decide to walk Murphy intentionally, which I think was the right idea. Murphy has hurt the Mets all season long, at least last year he did. But he's off to a really bad slump right now. He's 1 for 20 at the plate, 0 for his last 14. Maybe you take your chances there, but going off the track record, I think the Mets made the right call. They go to Juris Familia to face Rendon after using Addison Reed for about an inning or so, used him for an inning. They used Blevins in the 8th inning, and he had a walk and a strikeout. So the Mets really didn't have much options. Keep in mind that they played 4 extra inning games already this year. They had the 16-inning game just last week. So they don't have much to go to. Familia threw 30 pitches last night. He's returned from the domestic violence suspension. Anthony Rendon draws a walk. I thought that was a key at bat. And then Dusty, again, makes another good call. Goes to Trey Turner. Bases loaded. Michael Taylor is 0 for 7 against Familia. So the only option he has is to go to Turner because Ryan Zimmerman's already in the game batting 9th. And Turner does what he's supposed to do. Doesn't swing. Familia throws 4 pitches in the dirt. Nats get the run. Take a 4-3 lead. And Sean Kelly gets the job done in the bottom of the 11th. Goes 1, 2, 3. Ends up throwing a total of 14 pitches, 8 strikes in the ball game to pick up the save. And here's a big save for Sean Kelly. Think about the week that he's had. He gets out of that crazy situation Tuesday night where we're still talking about how bad C.B. Buckner is, but nevertheless, Kelly found his way out of that situation. Gets the big inning last night where he finds where they get out of the inning against Atlanta. And now tonight with a 1, 2, 3 in the 11th. I know Dusty talked about Coda Glover getting a shot. Maybe Glover gets a shot tomorrow in a save situation. But for right now, Sean Kelly's earned the job. And that's why it was surprising in the spring. Everybody thought Kelly was going to be the favorite, and then Kelly was out of the running so quickly, reportedly. Sean Kelly's the veteran leader in this bullpen. I mean, he proved it last year for a time that when he's on his game, he's tough to hit. Look at his September numbers last year. So it's not a surprise that Kelly's doing well in this role. I think he's better off in this role. Glover still has to earn the trust of those late inning situations. Kelly has earned that. So I know a lot of you want Glover to close. Ron does. I do too eventually. But for right now, Sean Kelly has to be the guy unless he's not available. Because he's got the most confidence right now. And you'll see me talking about confidence as a key word, and it's a word I like to throw out there. I know we're in that show. I want to give some credit to Matt Harvey. This is a guy in Harvey who hasn't thrown more than 92 pitches in either of his first 3 games. Goes out there, throws 108 pitches. After that Harper home run, outside of the Lobaton swing, the Nats didn't do much against him the whole night. He's not what he was a couple years ago, but he's not the guy that was really bad last year and had to undergo the thoracic outlet surgery. He's got that gear mentality that you like, and I think that's best for the rivalry when Harvey's like that. So, again, I'm in New York, so I watch Matt Harvey more often than not, and I was impressed by him tonight, no question about it. So I liked what Matt Harvey did in this ball game. On the other side, you got to go to Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, to me, saw 23 pitches tonight, gets the home run, gets the double. He's locked in right now. Now, the Nats will have to wait and try to figure out what's going on with Daniel Murphy. But the way Harper's swinging the ball, I love the way Rendon's seeing the ball. Rendon, looking at the ESPN numbers, saw 31 pitches in this game. So he's getting a good patient eye at the plate, and that's a great sign because he draws a lot of walks. He drew 2 tonight. Looking at the numbers in depth for Roark here on ESPN, 18 first pitch strikes. You like that at a 29. Decent number. 60 of 102 pitches for strikes. Oliver Perez, 12 of 22 pitches for strikes. Blanton, 9 strikes out of 20 pitches, but he found himself out of it. Romero, 10 of 14 pitches. That's key. Yes, he gave up a lot of hard contact, but he found a way out of it. I think that's the most important. And Kelly, 8 of 14, like we mentioned. So Nats go to 11-5. The Mets drop to 8-9. And not exactly where you want to be at this situation because the Mets are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. As we look at tomorrow's matchup for a second, we'll go around the division in a little bit. Tomorrow's a 4:05 Eastern game. You got Gio Gonzalez on the bump for the Nats, a 1.33 ERA against Jacob deGrom. Now, deGrom was supposed to start this game, but he had a sore neck. Now, he told the media that if he was left-handed, he would pitch. And that's why I kind of wondered if Harvey's throwing 108 pitches, does that mean deGrom's not going tomorrow? Again, they'll see how he feels in the morning, and if not, Sean Gilmartin, who was called up for Lucas Duda, will start, which would be huge for the Nationals to avoid Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard in the same series. You don't get that option a lot of the time, and you hope they're okay. Syndergaard, of course, is okay. He just wasn't lined up for this series. deGrom, coming off a 13 strikeout game last week against Miami, his stuff looks sharp. But again, even if he does pitch, that neck is going to be something to monitor. And you know the Mets are taking it very cautious with their starting pitching. So if the Nationals can kind of do what they did today and sort of work the count early against Harvey. Now, it didn't work out because Harvey went 16 pitches longer than he usually does. But if they do the same thing against deGrom, I think they'll find enough success. Gio Gonzalez, he loves pitching at Citi Field. I wrote about that in your 5 players to watch for this weekend. 8-1. I think it's a sub-2 ERA in 13 games at Citi Field in his career. And again, the confidence you've seen from Gio, again, my word being confidence in this show, has been really good. He has yet to get up an earned run with men in scoring position. He battled last week when he didn't have as good command of his pitches, got behind a lot of hitters against the Phillies. So I think overall you go into after tonight, you're feeling confident. You've won 5 in a row. You're winning these close games, winning a lot of 1 to 2 run games, which is great to see early in the season. Shows a lot of resiliency in the ball club. And you're getting a big win over a rival. And a rival that's not feeling great right now, both injury-wise and confidence-wise. So the Nationals absolutely would take this to 4-0 on the road trip. They're 2 wins away from a winning road trip, which when you go 3 cities in 10 games, if you could walk out with a winning road trip, you take it and you run. So 4-0 on a road trip, great to start off. Let's go around the division. Two games, at least division-wise. Miami and San Diego right now at Petco Park. 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. You look at that game right now. Marlins have an RBI from Marcell Ozuna, a solo shot in the 2nd inning against Trevor Cahill. Adam Conley's pitching for Miami in that one. And in Philadelphia, the Phillies getting the win tonight over the Braves. Final score 4-3. Jeremy Hellickson now 3-0 on the season. He gave up 2 runs over 7. He's pitching great. Hector Neris got the save. RBIs from Freddie Galvis, Aaron Altherr, Tommy Joseph, and Maikel Franco. Freddie Freeman hit a home run in this game, his 7th of the season. He's tied Bryce Harper in that category. But not enough tonight for Atlanta. They're 6-10. Philly is 7-9 on the season. Let's actually look around the division. Let's take a look at the minor league action today. A lot of minor league action. Let's start in AAA Syracuse. They took on the Norfolk team, which is the Baltimore Orioles AAA affiliate. Chiefs won 3-0. They're on a good roll right now in terms of their pitching. Austin Voth, 6 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, picks up his first win of the season. Only 53 strikes and 87 pitches, but a good number. Greg Ross, 2 good innings out of relief. And Joe Nathan picks up his 3rd save of the season. RBIs from Brian Goodwin, and 2 of them from Brandon Snyder, who's up to 12 on the season. Chiefs go to 6-7. Harrisburg got a 2-run shot from Osvaldo Abreu in the 9th, but they dropped to Bowie 8-2. Abreu's first home run in AA. So the Senators are 7-7. Potomac, despite a 2-run shot by Rhett Wiseman in the 7th, lose to Lynchburg 4-2. Joan Baez took the loss in that one. He's 0-2 in the season. Austin Williams took the loss for Harrisburg. Hagerstown played sort of a completed a suspension game from Thursday, and then played a double 7-inning game tonight. So they played 16 innings. Suns were down 3-0 in game 1, but they found a way back to win 4-3. A walk-off single by Jake Knoll. Juan Soto is absolutely having a good season so far, as we'll get into. Delmarva won game 2 4-1, but Soto's hitting .397. He went 2 for 3 in game 2. Matthew DeRozier took the loss in game 2 for the Suns. The winner in game 1 being Jordan Mills. And Jordan Mills done a nice job in the bullpen for them. 1.86 ERA, and he's picking up those strikeouts. He's already got 10 on the season and 9 2/3, and he's picked up a save for them. So good job for Mills, a 24-year-old who was a 28th round pick by Houston a few years ago. So the Suns are 10-6, Potomac's 8-7, Harrisburg 7-7, Syracuse is 6-7. So we got a couple of cool notes coming up. And I'll see who's got any more questions in the chat here. It doesn't look like we got questions. Okay. No questions here in the chat. So here's what we got coming up. Tomorrow, my co-editor, Ron Juckett, got a chance to talk to Buster Olney from ESPN. Olney will be on the sidelines Sunday Night Baseball when the Nats take on the Mets. Max Scherzer against Zach Wheeler. They got a chance to talk about Bryce Harper. Got a chance to talk about Dusty Baker. The bullpen, how big this series is, a lot of great topics. You'll hear some of that interview and then read part of the other interview tomorrow morning on the website. We thank Buster Olney and the folks at ESPN for taking the time to talk to us. And coming up Sunday night after the game, when you listen to the DoDcast postgame, you're going to have JT Teran from Rising Apple is going to be here. Remember, we did the collab postgame with the Cardinals. We like to do collab postgames. They're a lot of fun. So JT Teran will be here. He was on the show when we previewed the Mets earlier in the season. He's going to be back, and we're going to talk about the Scherzer-Wheeler matchup. We'll look back at the series, and we'll look at some of the Mets' injury issues right now and what can change for them going forward. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that show. We're going to try to do more of them this year where we have other sites on the show to sort of you can get their opinion on their team. We can kind of have a good back and forth and have a little fun. If you missed my appearance, I tweeted out I was on with Mets Musings preview of the series on Thursday. Ron will be with you tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. He's got the live tweet and the post game. I'll be with you Sunday night on ESPN. We'll have some fun. Also, congrats to the Caps. 2-1 win in overtime over the Maple Leafs in Game 5. They'll play Game 6 Sunday night at 7 o'clock. So you got a chance maybe for a Capitals close out the series win, and maybe the Nats close out a series winner, even maybe a sweep Sunday night against the Mets. So that would be fun. DC Sports have had a lot of good moments this week. And, of course, the Wizards in action tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 against the Hawks. I believe that game's on TNT in Game 3 of their series. So best of luck to those teams. Follow Wizard of Oz, Stars and 6, Caps and Wizards stuff. Hold 9 yards. So the Nationals get the win tonight, 4-3 in 11 innings. Bryce Harper picks up 2 more RBIs. He's having a great start. Keep an eye on Daniel Murphy. I'm wondering what's going on with him, especially with that right leg tightness. But Trey Turner's back. He's hopefully going to be in the lineup tomorrow. Jason Worth, Dusty Baker said hopefully be back on Sunday. That's going to be a good sign. This lineup starts to get healthier, and we'll see how it goes. But the bench is doing a nice job. Lobaton getting a home run. Chris Heisey had another base hit tonight. Adam Lynn went 0 for 4. But I think when Dusty I got a lot of questions on Twitter tonight about why the Dusty rested a lot of these guys. And I think the road trip played a factor. But we know from Dusty's time last year, he loves to give his bench an opportunity. When you're on this 25-man roster, you're going to play. And that's the one thing Baker preaches. You're going to get an opportunity, and you have to be ready for it. And we've seen the bench come through in a lot of big hits this year. So when Baker goes to you, you got to be ready to play. And that's why I think he's a good manager for this team, because he gets everybody ready to go. And now you can't win a pennant in April, but you can lose it. And after all the bullpen failures and everything like that, and the bullpen is still a question mark, don't get me wrong. For this team to be 11-5, with the way their offense is playing, it's on fire. Their starting pitching is good. A lot of things to like right now. You can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please feel free to go over there. If you're listening to the show, we always thank you for your support. So you can also, if you catch, I think the Buster Olney part of that interview will be there too, We also have other interviews that we do during the year that you'll see on that channel. Like us on Facebook. Send us, that's what I'm looking for. Send us a follow on Twitter, @DistrictOnDeck. Follow me on Twitter, @Rickinator555. Had a lot of fun talking with you guys tonight on the post-game show. And during the game, I had a lot of fun with Rising Apple, too. So follow them. They're a great Mets site. Follow them as well on the Fanside Network. Had a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, Gio Gonzalez, Jacob deGrom, 4 o'clock on Massid. And I think FS1 has it nationally as well. So for Ron Jeckett and for all of the District On Deck team, I'm Ricky Keeler saying hope you have a great night. And I'll see you back here Sunday. And Ron will see you back here tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow evening.